with David Guas, the author of the new book, Grill Nation. What do you feel is the most important thing you've learned from this book for those of us who love to grill every year?
Don't be afraid to try it. You know, so this is just 200 recipes that sort of just the tip of the iceberg on how to sort of entry level, but also there's some pro stuff in there. So it's a good mix of just trying to energize people to get outside or inside.
Right, as we're doing today.
Exactly, and just explore it, you know. Use this as just a loose guideline, but have fun with your ingredients, have fun with your grill, get to know your grill.
We're making something kind of a little different today, not just your like throw it on the grill. What are we making?
Well, essentially it still is. At the end of the day, it's a honey Asian marinated beef tri-tip, and we've got all of our wonderful ingredients, a super simple marinade, and I love this. It's clean, it's fresh, it's got flavor, it's got heat, it's got some balance with the honey, the sweetness. It really sort of, to me, the honey works really well in this particular recipe because of the other strong ingredients that we have. The soy and the black Asian vinegar and the chili garlic sauce and the sesame oils and things like that. So you need something that's going to really sort of balance.
Where do you even begin in terms of getting the meat ready? How long do you marinate?
Sure.
Because that's always, you know, a personal topic to
right.
people.
So exactly, you're right. And so I take these stronger marinated ingredients, this Asian style marinade, and I choose a tougher cut. So the tri-tip is perfect for this. Hanger steaks, Terrace majors, sort of chewier cuts that are traditionally. So it really helps to break down and attack the meat and really sort of make it tender for the final product. And that's really what I love about this marinade to this particular type of cut. So I want to show you the marinade.
Let's get started.
Yeah. So essentially, we start with all of our fresh ingredients. We have some minced, beautiful ginger.
Wonderful.
Go ahead and put that in there. And and then we're going to go ahead and add our soy in no particular order. It's really just marrying all these ingredients together. Some black Asian vinegar.
And are the amounts really important here, or is it kind of just like put in what you want?
I personally, I like this. I've tested it. I've played with it, and it's really about the high acid to the heat to the sweet.
Right.
So in this particular proportion and ratio, it works.
Yeah, do it right.
So if you're gonna go slinging like the Wild Wild West, taste it before you add it to your meat.
And know it might not work.
So how much might not work. Exactly.
do we have for each of these?
Right now we're working off of about a half a cup of each. A little of the garlic chili sauce.
Like a tablespoon?
Yeah, a tablespoon and a half or so. And then our beautiful honey. Go with something that's kind of amber. Okay. Got a little bit of green onion, about a half a cup.
That just makes it look pretty.
Yeah, and it's gonna get that onion flavor, it's really gonna come out. And then our toasted sesame seeds. We'll reserve some of them for our finished grilled.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and then we go in with a little bit of our oil. We're just gonna kind of blend this together and kind of swirl in that oil, almost not quite go crazy like a vinaigrette where you have to emulsify it.
Right.
But instead of just dumping oil in there and having it sort of separate immediately, being the chef that I am, you kind of want to whisk it in there and kind of bring it all together. Yeah, and that'll help it all kind of come together.
And how much oil?
We're looking at about 3/4 of a cup of oil in that.
Great.
Yep, and essentially this is ready to go. So we've got our tri-tip ready to go in our bag here. We're going to go ahead and add that marinade directly to our Ziploc bag.
Yeah, and just a Ziploc bag. So
it is
easy.
super simple. I'm going to go ahead and kind of, manipulate a little bit of that. You don't want to just sort of zip it up and assume that everything's kind of touching. Just kind of massage it a little bit, and then we're going to
love.
Yeah. Touch your food. Don't be afraid to touch your food. And then we're going to seal some of that air out. Go ahead and lock it in. And then this can go in the refrigerator for anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. Overnight is essentially what we say. So if you do this the night before, you'll be ready to rock the next day to fire up the grill for the weekend. I would say don't go really over 12 to 14 hours.
Right. I was going to say,
because
what's the max?
Yeah, it is a strong marinade, so you want to be cautious of that. And this marinade also works well with poultry, but you have to cut back the amount of time that it's exposed to it because it's so strong. Right. You don't want it to completely overwhelm the texture and the flavor of the meat.
So do it in advance, but not too far.
That's right. So here we have one that's been hanging out overnight.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What an easy swap out. We didn't even have to wait.
I'll tell you what. And we've cubed it ahead of time. And so it makes it a little bit easier to manipulate. Now, if you're on the indoor grill, it's not going to be that crucial as far as the size that you're cutting.
Right.
If you are outside, you want to be careful of how wide your slats are on your grill because you don't want any of this beef to fall through after all this hard work and waiting for a marinade to work overnight.
That'd be so sad.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and throw it on there.
Go for it.
Yep.
When you're doing an indoor grill or a grill pan, you want to do this on a very high heat, as high as you can get it, or?
Yep, that's it. You want to get it what we say wicked hot. You know, just kind of like you want to hold your hand over it and just make sure that you've got great heat. You kind of want to rub a little bit of this marinade off so that you're not oversaturating the indoor grill with your marinade. So you can see, you know, this beautiful color already coming off of that. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, it's like already.
Yep, good caramelization. And because of the size of these really don't take very long.
But how do you know when you're ready to go?
You know, that's a great question. You know, the key is to knowing your grill. Right. You know what type of heat it puts out. You know where the hot spots are, where the cold spots are. And you know, same with the indoor grill. You know, there's going to be hot spots. And you know, if you grill enough inside, you'll know your grill. And you know, there's always the touch test. You know, you kind of just give it a little press back. And what you're looking for is you kind of, you know, you engage. So an open fist will give you this soft, kind of rare, medium rare, and then as you close your fist and get a little tighter, you know, the inside tightens up a little bit, and then you get your mediums, and then your well dones. So it's really just kind of give it a little bounce back.
So give it some more love.
Yeah, that's it.
You massaged it there, now you can massage it on the
That's right.
grill.
You know, don't be afraid to get in there and figure it out. And you know, if you got to use a thermometer, use it. There's no harm in that. You're looking at 125 to 130 for a nice medium rare. And you know, if your liking is a little further cooked, you know, you can go to 140, 145s, and then have a fun, you know, cucumber noodle salad or a nice cellophane rice noodle salad.
We have one that you made perfectly here. And these guys are basically ready to go.
They are. I mean, you can even see here, we could probably cut into one of these right off the grill.
Let's do it.
And, you know, just get...
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, again, knowing your grill, knowing, you know, the size of the beef, and knowing how much time you need to put towards it is the key there.
Well, thank you so much, David. And obviously, if you want more grilling tips, which I know everybody does this time of year, you can pick up the book. It's called Grill Nation. David Guas, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun.